Lakeside Junior High and welcome to Lakeside TV. We're going to show you all kinds of things going on here at Lakeside Junior High. Today on Lakeside TV, we're going to take a look at how COVID has affected band, choir, football, and girls basketball. We're also going to talk about the Black Lives Matter movement. In our first story, we're going to take a look at how COVID has affected life at Lakeside.
2020 has made many considerable changes to the Lakeside Band. Due to COVID-19, the students had to use coverings on their instrument and had to have masks with slits where the mouth is so students can play while having masks on. I asked some band students their opinions about some of the changes this year.
And we have a seating arrangement that we sit in every single time, so I think it'd be pretty good to figure out who is sitting next to them. If we lost our band cover, it'd be kind of scary because this finally will get us in trouble about it, and we'd have to pay to get a new one. I think the changes are good and reasonable, but they kind of make it a little bit boring and less fun.
You know how hard it is for me to play my instrument when we have to wear these masks all the time? We have to wear a bag over our whole instrument. Well, it depends on.
I talked to Miss Molden. Do you feel as your health is at risk teaching this year?
Nope, never felt at risk.
Do you feel as your students are safe with their band covers on?
Yes, they are. They're following all the guidelines and doing what we ask and distancing in the classroom. We're working on how to figure out concerts right now.
These changes have affected the band in many different ways, but I think that they can overcome all these changes.
In 2020, COVID-19 affected schools by stopping or slowing down extracurricular activities. One of these activities was choir. We are going to be reporting about how COVID-19 affected choir. How did COVID-19 affect choir?
Kids have to fill out a questionnaire before class every day, answering COVID questions if they have a fever or if they've had a cough. And so every time before they come into class, they have to answer these questions. We have to be 6 feet apart and wearing masks when we sing. And we can only sing for 30 minutes or then we have to leave the room after 30 minutes and let it air out and sanitize between classes. And we all have to be facing the same way when we sing. And we have specific singing masks that we wear that the district bought us. The feeling of singing together as a choir is not the same because we're really spread out, and for junior high kids it's really hard to hear anybody singing around you when you're that far spread out. I mean, for any kid, but when your voice is developing and going through voice changes and you're feeling not as confident, sometimes it's hard when you can't hear people singing around you. So that kind of sense of making music together and harmony together is a bit of a challenge.
How do you feel about wearing the masks?
Oh, I don't like it at all. I just, like, as soon as I can get to my office or to my car, I take it off and I just, like, pat my face and let my face be on the sun. I do not like wearing a mask, but I understand that we're keeping everybody safe. And it's like I tell my students that, you know, it's more than just about me and how I feel.
Do you like teaching this year more than last year? Why or why not?
There seems to be this, I don't even know how to put it into words, but this new appreciation of being at school and just glad to be at school and glad to be in class and interacting with teacher and interacting with students and having that face-to-face time with people other than the people in your home. I'm feeling grateful to be at school, and I see that in my students as well.
To sum it up, some ways that COVID-19 has affected the choir is that people have to wear a special mask while singing, they have to distance themselves from others, and fill out daily health forms. Other ways that COVID-19 has affected choir is they sing for 30 minutes, facing the same way while singing, and harmonizing with each other is harder.
So today we're going to give you a rundown of the 9th grade football season, but before we do that, let's ask Coach Suter how they deal with masks and COVID.
Well, it's definitely been a learning experience with COVID-19 and a new football season. The way that we've been handling everything is when our athletes are in physical activity, they're able to take it and tuck it underneath the chin while we work out. Like if we were in the weight room, if they were lifting and they were the lifter, they could tuck it under the chin. If not, then they have to have it on when they're spotting. And then when we're outside, when they have their helmets on and stuff like that, with regulations from the AAA, they've let us have the mask off when we have games and practice.
Now let's see 9th grade and 8th grade football season.
Black Lives Matter is a social movement that brings awareness to police brutality and nonviolent civil disobedience. They want to show that people should all be treated equally and fairly. The oppression of African American citizens started 400 years ago, and to this day, they are still being oppressed. The summer of 2020, George Floyd was killed by cops. That to people was the last straw, and they could not put up with police brutality happening around the country.
We did an interview with Ms. Ramirez on the topic Black Lives Matter, and this is what she had to say to our questions.
I agree that Black Lives Matter. I think it's important that we value their lives. And in civics, we learn about the First Amendment right of freedom of speech and the right to peacefully protest. So I think that it is important that we use our rights and make sure that their lives are valued.
How do you think the police system could change police violence?
I think that if the government invested more in social work and also in counseling, especially within the school system, then when certain issues arise, then people would seek a social worker instead of the police, and then that would help resolve part of the issue.
Why do you think people disagree or have a misconception of the movement?
I think that part of the problem is that people are not well informed of what the movement is, or they just don't understand it.
Just, I really just expect them to show up and work hard every day. On and off the court, we make sure that they're keeping their grades up, that they're going to class, that they're coming to practice, and just whenever they come to practice, that they work hard and that they get better every day. That's kind of our team theme this year, is to just be better. So every single day we want to be better than we were the day before. We're young. Most of our girls, even our 9th grade girls, for most of them, their first year to play basketball was in the 7th grade. So they've only been playing for 2 years. So it's kind of a challenge because there's a lot that they have to learn, but they responded very well. Challenge would be a lack of experience, but what we lack in experience, we make for in hard work. One way we've improved tremendously is that we have gotten a lot stronger. We go into the weight room at least 3 times a week. We're lifting weights. So seeing that improvement and seeing how much stronger they're getting, they're able to shoot the ball from farther back. They're able to make better passes. They are a lot more explosive. So the weight room has really paid off. So if I had to say one thing they've improved on, it's getting stronger.